Desierto was actually like a really hard project. One of the main characters is the desert, so it took 3 years of actually just finding the location, and then filming in location was very complicated. We were like 2 hours away from the closest civilization, no cell phone reception. So I'm actually really thankful to the whole crew and the team for supporting me and going into such a intense, high temperature ride.
One day that went to visit, and really you would arrive, you would go from La Paz, and they just drive and drive and drive and drive in the desert, and you would arrive to see this community of cannibals. These guys were like completely. It was one of those. You guys have been weeks and weeks and weeks in the desert, and I don't know. It was a certain interesting madness going on there.
Heat is very difficult to capture in film. I mean, when you look at the scenes, you go like, okay, yes, you can tell it's really hot. You can tell, but there is something that is like still like it was really hot sometimes. I mean, right, like unbelievably, and there's a point where we're sort of chasing each other in a ledge, in a very kind of steep ledge with the rocks are very loose and I mean it looks difficult. It was way more difficult than it looks. I mean, it was really difficult to hold yourself into that kind of, and hiding and going up the mountain. It was so tiring. The only one that was having the time of their lives were the dogs. I mean, they were really like loving go up the mountain, like they would really love it.
Well, for me, I think immigration's, the problem is we see it as a problem and not as a phenomenon. And to me, it's always part of the problem is that we view people as the other. And so in this film, that's why I really wanted to. I worked so hard with both Gael and Jeffrey to really try to get into those characters' shoes. I think the discourse of Jeffrey as a character is scary because it is a discourse that exists. Like his actions represents a discourse that is inherent both in the U.S., in Europe. Like you just open many newspapers and stuff, and you hear people actually thinking the actions that Jeffrey commits.
Migration right now. I mean, we're living a moment where there's a very strong shift. I mean, more than a little bit more than a few years ago, because I mean, throughout human history, migration has been part of the norm. It's like saying the issue of breathing or the problem of happiness. I mean, it's part of life. Migration, it's needed, it's necessary, and now we're experiencing. I mean, amongst many aspects, we're experiencing political, economical, social model that is not allowing and is forbidding and it's criminalizing people that are making that migration that is forced in the vast majority of cases, as it is in Syria, as it is in places in Central America where people flee from because of like Alfonso said, the intervention, because of conflict, of violence, and also of the economic disparity. I mean, I'm very proud of what Jonas did. I mean, it's a really great poetic sort of ride, and I'm just curious to see what the reaction is going to be.
Yeah. And as you can tell, it's clear that one of Jonas' favorite films is Duel. Spielberg. Yeah, I think that is part of the model, the archetype that he took for this.